Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Legend, where today we probably ought to start things off with a little bit of assessment of our situation. Obviously, we've taken a lot of territory, we have a big powerful empire that is capable of a lot of things, but we also have some big problems. For example, all of our cities are currently suffering from 82 points of expansion disapproval, which is causing some large-scale issues, like a massive science and dust reduction. At some point, we picked up a fourth Eyeless One village. One of the Broken Lords regions had one more, which is nice. It's a drop in the bucket, but hey, you know, drops help. And then we have just, like, no idea what direction to go in next. I think an important part of this next stage of the game is going to be exploring and meeting the other players so that we can tell where they are. Although, actually, I guess Blue's the only person we don't know. I think that playing that 8-player game scrambled my brain a little bit. I, for some reason, was just expecting there to be a lot more folks out on this world map. Alright, so we have a map that we have a status screen then that has everybody except Blue on it. Let's go and have a look. Right now, we are actually winning on overall score, despite the fact that I don't know that I would say that I feel like we are winning. The overall score meter dramatically overvalues, in my opinion, just the raw amount of territory you control and also the size of your military, when both of those things are just sort of like precursors to the things that win you the game, you know? This is like it's a measurement, I guess, of like potential effectiveness rather than current effectiveness. So Pink has a very large and impressive army, even larger than our own. And Red's not doing too badly either, although again, this is not necessarily a measure of army effectiveness. It takes into account the total health of your army in a pretty heavily weighted way. So basically what we know is Pink has a lot of HP worth of units, which is not a big surprise. Draken units are very tough. Not necessarily very good at killing, but very tough. So apparently Purple had the largest empire in the game, until. Of course, as you might imagine, our population is doing very, very well. Combination of taking over lots of large cities and stockpiles and stockpiles and stockpiles. We are way behind on research, as is to be expected, although we are researching things very quickly. Let's jump out of order here. Okay, so we are producing more science than anyone except Green, who has really taken off somehow. How do you have 1,800 science? It's turned 70. Alright, we may have to go say hi to Green. That might be our next goal. Red is generating wild amounts of influence. The only thing about this chart that's surprising is that Pink is so low, because the Draken have a whole influence thing that they do. I'm surprised to see he's down here with the rest of us. Empire approval level. Empire approval levels, they're bad. That's what we've learned. We have very few diplomatic points, of course. And as far as the faction quest goes, you know, we're not as behind as I was afraid. Still quite behind, though. Food generation is okay. Red and Green, both doing very well. So, like, the fact that we have both of the single city factions in this game definitely makes these charts a little bit harder to interpret, because you have to remember Red and Green's values don't mean the same thing that everybody else's values mean. They're being judged on a different scale. And turns out +7 dust per turn, not so good. Who would have thought? So, even with all this warring and conquering, we are still only 46% of the way to an expansion victory. You have to hold 30 regions to achieve that. There's probably a fair amount of unconquered space out there, especially since Blue and Pink are right up against each other on one landmass. Since Red and Green are both single region, we might be able to just do some wild expansion and be able to take over a bunch of this without fighting anyone. We really do need to know who Blue is. Alright, that's an immediate goal. Other victory types, of course, we could just keep doing war. And it's possible that we would be able to take out Pink, maybe. We had to get a sense of their situation. With them having a huge number of units and also a significant technology gap on us, it's possible that even with our ridiculously huge force, we would still fail to take them down. How many luxuries do we need to run a booster? 70. Yeah. Alright. Alright. So, we have the Guardian on their way up to the northern coast of Merowan to see across the ocean, and maybe that will be enough to introduce us to blue, but another thing we might have to do is, well, another thing we're going to have to do one way or another is develop some damn ships. So, we'll figure that out. We're still building that settler. We're going to take this region. Actually, here's a question. I have played with Urcan so little that I don't actually even know this off the top of my head. Am I allowed to jump over here just because I can see it? Let's migrate to here. Okay, that does not give me immediate vision of the region, of the whole region. That's a shame. Can I pop my Urcan lice out, though? No? That doesn't work that way? That's a shame. The neutral Urcans totally shed armies of lice. Okay, well, I was hoping to get a little bit more vision than that. We already knew that Red had troops over here because they've been converting stuff. So I think we are just going to have to properly develop ships and do the thing that way. We're also going to try to get a hold of Khazar. What's Khazar's stats looking like? Well, Khazar is only level 1. We got here while he is still level 1. So, actually, pretty beatable. This one does not have range, and instead has sweep strike back, so we do have to be cautious of that. We're going to want to make sure we lure him out of this corner before we engage. Actually, not trivial to engage, because he's backed in by a ruined space we can't stand in, and some mountain spaces we can't stand in, so we have to approach from this side. Alright. Well, that's a thing to do, so let's get ship tech. Which is here. Nope, stop. There we go. You know what? We are going to want Imperial coinage, but I think it can wait. We're not going to be generating the money during the winter to be able to buy huge amounts of luxuries anyway. Let's get that ship technology. Let us see the world and figure out how we're going to conquer it. And then we have this going. And the other thing I wanted to look at was legendary deeds. So this is probably not happening for us. It's very hard for me to imagine we get to 4,000 dust before anybody else does. Blue has the Science Wonder. The Influence Wonder is still unbuilt because, 35 Mithrite and 35 Hyperium. Immovable Force is not a very exciting... It's an item you equip on Guardians to let you do their map action more often, which is not terribly compelling. Up here we have... Okay, so this is a 50% expansion disapproval reduction on all of your cities, and it would be a wonderful thing to have, and there's no way we're going to get it. Because having a city with 15 districts, again, this is a problem of having both of the one region factions in the same game. Both of them are probably already close to 15 districts. There's just no way. That's a shame, because it'd be really good for us, and it's going to be terrible for them. Be the first to complete 25 quests. We are in 5th place, and remember, there are only 5 players in the game right now. I have not been doing a lot of quests. The necrophages don't get as many quests as everybody else does, because you just eat all the minor factions you encounter. And then, of course, the dust building. So... 952 science per turn. It's not impossible that we could take this lead that we've accumulated and turn it into a science victory, but we'd probably have to eat green in order for that to happen, and then probably put the brakes on some other people. Alright, those are the things I'm thinking right now. Those are the directions we may head. Oh, hey look, a wine deposit. It's a shame that we don't have 4 or 5 more of those. Yeah, I was really hoping that Chaka was going to have more, excuse me. The Chaka was going to have more vision than he turned out to have. Now remember, as long as Chaka is implanted in the ground, he is holding the region for us, and so he cannot be attacked by anyone who has not declared war on me. Hold on, just one moment. Okay, sorry about that. My esophageal condition's acting up a little bit there. If we uproot Chaka for the purpose of moving them around over here and also, picking up these ruins and stuff, then it will be one of our units that's running around in a neutral territory and it will be attackable. So we're definitely not going to do that. It's true, I did eliminate a neighbor. Did they show promise though? I think there's a lot to be said about the fact that they are in my stomach now, and as such, I feel like that is an indication, perhaps, that not so much promise was being shown. Alright, let's clean up some of these random quest armies that are just lurking over here. This really can just be the one force. Hooray, Battleborn. Can you believe I did a thing that resulted in us having more Battleborn? Y'all merge up. Yeah, that's fine. Just go ahead and automatically resolve that. Cadavers for the pile. And then we're gonna have to move down here and approach this thing from the south, right? I guess not all of the armies have to be south of it. We just have to be close. One of these armies has a proliferator in it, right? Yeah, okay. I think I'm going to disengage the proliferator force. There's no reason to put a proliferator into combat with... Well... No, it has lice, though. I could proliferate on the lice. Alright, Let's take the most injured units out of this army, bump them out. Okay. Trying to recombine things in a way that makes some kind of sense here. Alright. In a turn or two, well ahead of Khazar's 10-turn travel schedule, we will be gathered around and we will have at this Urcan, and then we will control 2 of them. And I don't think the 3rd one has emerged yet, right? So your job is searching things and grabbing pearls, and you're doing a great job. I do love a Skyfin. Skyfins are just wonderful to have around. They're not even terrible combat units, you just have to be smart with them. They are horrible fighters, to be clear, but they can be very useful as a support unit in an army. Messing with enemy morale is one of the most potent buffs or debuffs that you can possibly get, so... That's good for you. I don't know what you were doing. Yep, totally spaced on this one. Alright, well, there's some pearls over here. Let's grab those. Speaking of totally spaced, what's my faction quest? Ah, yes, right. That's what you were doing. Okay, well, we'll get there. You lot just run over here. We're gonna have shipyard tech next turn, so after we take out Khazar, some of us can fan out over here immediately, and the rest of us can run north. Here in Urcan, we have things to build. Actually, not really. We do at this point need to research some more things that are worth spending industry on. That said, we do have plans for Urcan, don't we? So let's see, the winter's going to be 1 to 20 turns. I think we're probably going to be okay on food. This way, for the moment at least. Maybe not everywhere. Rouster's pretty unhappy with its food situation. You know what, Rouster? Have a stockpile. That's how I'm gonna fix that. Keep working. The thing you're doing is very important. We need approval. We must counter this disapproval. Alright, so next turn you get that. Wait a minute, really? Somebody just moved up to Era 5, yeah. We haven't even talked about facilities yet. We'll get there. We'll have a game where those will be relevant. That's just a lot of loose demons. We've left this region wild for too long. Somebody's going to have to come over here and chomp all those dudes. Because, that's just like a lot of food running around there wild. It's alright. We're very good hunters. Alright, let's get this resolved. So... this is the army I would like to engage with. It's going to take another turn or two of moving around. So let's have you over here, ready to jump in the ocean. And honestly, like, a lot of these armies do not need to show up for this, right? We got ocean exploration tech. Let's just have some of the armies run north and work on that problem. Is the Skyfin... the Skyfin is coming this way. It can pick up those pearls. We'll have this army grab these ones, though. You can grab this for me, and then I guess I never searched this ruin. There was nothing in it anyway, because of course there wasn't. Alright, so we go right here, and then I cannot ward in this location. Do I have to be in an unoccupied... yeah, I have to be in a space that's not already a district, I guess. Vision! And in fact, we have Matte Blue, and it's the Vaulters. They call themselves the Mizari here for reasons, but these are the Vaulters. Interesting. Well, time to look at some more charts. So the Vaulters actually have the highest score. The Vaulters are dramatically leading on science. Green's temporary peak has worn off a little bit. The Vaulters are the ones who just pushed into the new era. They have an incredibly powerful military. Okay, everything that we thought we knew has turned out to be nonsense because of these damn Vaulters. They have more total space than Pink. They probably got ocean tech faster, so they're probably spread over 2 landmasses at least. Okay, all right, we're gonna have to reconsider some of our designs a little bit. This is still the volcano former from that quest that we got really early in the game. The AI just never bothered to deal with it. So what is your situation relative to everybody else? Is everybody just kind of sitting around here at an uneasy truce? Looks like. Okay. Well, that bums me out. Obviously, you would like for there to be a lot of strife between your opponents. I feel like the cargo dock is actually... why did I have this... oh, right. I had this running like this because the cargo dock is going to take 1 million years to finish. We're probably just going to have to put some dust into that city. I don't really want to. I want to use my dust for other things. Heroes. But... yeah, we may not have much of a choice here. We have a lot of infrastructure stuff to figure out. That is definitely a serious concern. So I'm assuming if I move... oh no, okay, it just fired once. I'm actually not sure how this works. I don't know that I have used Photios more than a handful of times. In general, I just don't think the Guardians are very good. They're not... I don't find them very compelling for the amount of resources that you have to put into them. So usually when I use one, it's because something like this has happened. Well, okay, I'm going to leave you just like right where you are for the moment. I could throw Photios in a ship and sail it across the ocean. Yeah, man, with there being like no tensions at all anywhere in the world, it's very hard to find a place to insert myself. You would hope to take advantage of two people's dislike for each other to create openings, but since that's not available, I don't know what I'm going to do. Go ahead and get that Titan Bone Extractor up. 3 Titan Bone Extractors plus access to the resource market might put us in a place where we can reasonably have Titan Bones up a fair amount of the time, so that's good news at least. God, if we could just get our approval levels up. Make our lives so much easier. Alright, before we do anything else this turn, let's move the faction quest forward. So I don't actually know what's going to happen here. Alright, well, what's going to happen is we got our fungal laboratory. Karis must be the governor in order to build a fungal laboratory, and it's just like, it's one of those things that generates food. The enemy has been vanquished, their precious materials taken. Boy, ain't that the truth. Most pleasingly, Karis shows utter loyalty, and craves to begin work on the breeding chambers. Also, we're getting spied. Blue has placed spies in our empire. Interesting, so Blue saw us before we saw Blue. I'm pretty annoyed by that. Decrease in my morale. I mean, at least decreased morale is an attack that has functionally no effect on us right now. Peace, peace, peace. Can I get any peace? Every burr, every click, every scratch echoes through the hard tunnels, drills deep into my head. I need to think. To think is to see, is to plan, is to survive. But the noise distracts me from my task. Menials, get out! Some peace, but a brittle one. Our acts have not gone unseen by the eyes of the hind legs. They grow bolder by the day, sending out parties of fighters. They will be killed and feasted upon, but I fear for the day they organize themselves as well as we do. They will overwhelm us unless we have the numbers. Our attention must turn to a new chamber. While we build it, we will be vulnerable. The hive will need to be protected, the enemy scattered from our lands. Then we can truly start swarming this world, Auriga. Karis has many ideas for how we might forge such a path. His mind is aflame, painting a blazing trail of the contraptions, strategies, and unions we might follow. While his mind burns, his body hardens and bends, becoming more like us every cycle. I never speak the thought, but he may be our future, a hybrid of hindlegs and hive dweller that marries our capacity to reason with our brute strength. Sorry, their capacity to reason. Listen, we just won that great big war. I'm pretty high on my own capacity to reason right now. He has become more than a mere broodling. He has become an example. We must learn our enemies' ways, watch them, find their weaknesses. But I get ahead of myself. Nothing will come without the Broodmother's new chamber. We just gotta make a whole lot more necrophages. That's what the world needs, more of this thing. So, we have to build it in Kalal. They have instructed us that it is to be built in Kalal, and I believe Karis should still be on reassignment cooldown. Okay, for one more turn. There's just some vaulters over here, for some reason. Okay, their stats are bad, but they're not so bad that I want to take them on with Karis +1, so... Hey, free pearls. I think what we'll do, actually, is... So it's just one Necrodrone. Karis does have Range Slayer. I think what we'll do is we'll run up this way. I just want to get off the volcanic territory so Karis can heal. And then we'll put down the city and then attack them with the city garrison as backup, and then we'll reassign Karis afterward. Does Kalal have... No, Kalal does not have good industry output. Not at all, in fact. Well, that's a bummer. Here, let's grab this on the way to that, and then we'll sweep back through this stuff, because we need the Skyfin to run east along the northern side of our territory anyway. Alright, so that's your plan. Is it this turn or next turn? It's hard to tell. Next turn. Is this counter decreasing? Doesn't seem like it. Yeah, but that's got a fungal bloom on it. Alright, next turn. Fighting is next turn. I'm gonna get... Nope, not you. The Hero's Army. In position here, where I think we should still be part of the battle. Alright, you're gonna grab that, you're gonna grab that, and then we're sailing. So we're gonna have a lot of forces going straight west, and we know that there's unclaimed land over here. And that's interesting. Like I said, an expansion victory is not necessarily unreasonable as a goal here. Man, I wish I got to determine which city the build was going to happen in. Kalal is just not. It's not the right spot for that. Ah, well. Necrophage planning, you know? You probably ought to go somewhere. Honestly, you can just go north. We need more armies exploring. Well, you know, maybe I want to turn this army around and run them east. We need people exploring that way too. Okay, so at the beginning of this turn, let's try to manage this situation first. I guess, actually, I'm not going to do anything right away. Because what I want to do before we found another city is use the newly researched Imperial coinage to have a quick look at the market and see if there are any luxury boosters we can run. Oh, thank God. Dust production returned to normal. That happening right as winter started was really, really rough for our money. Okay, so remember, it takes 70 of a thing for us to run a booster. There's not a lot out here that we would be able to purchase a booster's worth of. You can see the numbers adjusting in real time as the AI does their buying and selling. But the one thing that there is actually a ton of is the one thing we need most. So, we currently have none wine. We're going to have to sell some things in order to be able to afford this wine, but we are absolutely going to do it. I think this is tremendously important. So, what can we sell that'll be worth anything at all? There is demand for everything except glass steel. Remarkable amount of demand for titanium, actually. Prices are not so bad. Here, let's do this, and then some of these. And buy ourselves... That's the wrong... That's not the button I want at all. So I already bought 30. This is going to be tough to get there. Alright, Quicksilver. Okay, Quicksilver has middle demand. Doubled XP on units is pretty good. I mean, all of these are going to be good-ish, but they're all... The important thing is they're all a lot worse than the wine is. So we need one more. It's 287. Okay. Just straight up 30 approval. Very helpful. Very good stuff. Alright, now let's plant you. We're going to need to build some things. And we'll be able to put some dust into this city to get it where it needs to go. Presently. Obviously not not right at this moment. Should definitely put a stockpile into it. Alright. So now we can engage you and use the city militia to bolster that fight, and then we can bounce Karis out of here. I think we should be able to take these guys. I sure hope so. We can build our cargo docks now and use that to fund the construction of the rest of Urcan. Alright. Let's manual it. I'm a little tiny bit nervous that if I don't do this myself, it's not going to get done right. We are somewhat likely to lose the Necrodrone, I suppose, because they're probably going to do a pretty serious focus on it. So maybe I would be better off just running it back. Remember, Karis won't die unless the whole army dies. Let's see, these guys have 55 attack and 41 damage. So they will deal real damage to this Necrodrone. No, I'm going to have it be forward. I'm going to have it actually fight. So we definitely want someone to be right here. It may as well be Karis. Yeah, I'll have him focus. Okay. I figured there's a pretty good chance that was what was going to happen. Oh, he didn't quite kill his target. Alright. So at this point, I think I pull the Necrodrone back. Because as long as the Necrodrone is fine, Karis will not die. And the militia can advance. It's nice that these archers have really terrible initiative. It's very helpful. And we managed to get the disease spread with the help of our... Okay, you can, at this point, come back. There will not be enough incoming fire on future rounds to threaten the Necrodrone. They are focused on it, though, huh? Okay, honestly, I'm glad I did that manually. So, the last stand fires, Karis survives with a single hit point. We go ahead and throw the new stockpile into here. I don't know if I was explicit about this. When you fire multiple stockpiles on a city, it fires one stockpile per turn for a number of turns equal to the number of stockpiles you did. So we're not giving Hellcrast a single turn huge food boost. We're giving it a several turn long food boost by doing that. Alright, it turns out it's not that hard to build the fungal laboratory. The cost is not as high as I was afraid of. So that'll be just fine. Dye extractor is up. That's good. Oh yeah, that's right. We do need dyes for some of Chaka's most important boosts. Like, this is going to be so good, and we're never going to settle Fudoro. The Fudoro is where Chaka lives. Chaka can give a boost to 4 of our regions that way. Yeah, that seems pretty solid. Alright, now let's resolve this thing. Oh, I can't stand where that extractor is because the damn... Dispose of this. Help them dispose of this. Nope, that didn't change anything. Damn it. I just want to fight. He's in a position where he's literally impossible to attack. Ah, that sucks. Alright, you come back around here. We do actually want the hero in this battle. But I am going to have somebody get in the ocean right away. Okay, we'll have the hero be nearby and ready. And I'm going to turn this army around and have them push eastward. We have enough people sailing out this way. So, while we're on the ocean, we have to be a little bit wary. Ocean tiles are affected by weather, and ocean weather can be very serious, such as these huge lightning storms that will do 45% of your unit's max HP as damage at the end of the round. So, to be a little bit cautious, and my only graphical complaint with the game, seriously, the only one, is that while you're zoomed in at the pretty ARG zoom levels, the weather's really hard to see. Tell me which ones of those are the lightning tiles right now, right? Like, occasionally there's a flash. It really does pay to be looking at the map like this when you're doing your ocean voyages, which honestly that's at least like flavorful. It's thematic, right? The armies on the sea would be looking at maps and trying to plot, and so I don't hate it. I just wish that it was a little clearer. The ocean visuals are a little clearer when you're zoomed in, because I want to spend more time zoomed in. The game's beautiful. Right, do we see any other pearls? We see those. Let's head north a little bit. The Skyfin will get vision along the coast, and we'll see if there's anything else up here. You are exactly where you need to be. I really don't... Okay, so the ward thing only lasts one turn no matter what. You know what? Come over here. And when ward comes off cooldown in a couple of turns, we'll fire it again, and we'll see what else of blue we can see from the light post position here. Light post? Lighthouse. And everybody continues to build important things. Oh, we should probably be doing some kind of research. That seems wise. So 6 out of the 9 technologies necessary. I mean, at this point we have the Palladian income to make this work, so I'm inclined to grab that. I don't think we want to grab weapons tech, because I think we're going to just blaze right past this next stage of weapons. Several of our cities already have dust refineries, if I'm not mistaken, so that does reduce the necessity of researching this. Like, I think most of the cities that we took from the Broken Lords, browse buildings. Yeah, they prioritized dust refinery very highly, because of course they did, and then they built them for us. So we don't necessarily need to be all that concerned about that. So what do we need? I mean, the food is right. The food is smart. It's worth noting that the stockpile tech will not affect our recycled stockpiles. They are a different kind. They are not food stockpiles. We could grab influence tech. Oh, empire planning. Yeah, we should do some math on the empire plan. That's a good idea. Our other unique technology here gives us the ability to burn a point of population for a temporary boost to approval. I don't think it's bad, but it's not great, certainly. Like, you don't want to be burning population. Population is one of the most important resources in the entire game. Speaking of which, you know, we could probably go back and get the public granary. It'd be a good idea to build those now that we actually have glass steel income. So let's grab those two, and then we'll figure out where we're going from there. And let's talk about the Empire plan. So we're bringing in 78 influence per turn without even thinking about it. It's not a terrible place to be. That's just not even the button I wanted. Here we go. This is the right button. So obviously we want to do this. That's 840, and 840 we have, trivially. I would love to end up in this place, though, for the moment. 1680. And honestly, like, during this part of the game, this part where we need to figure out what the map looks like, this would be wonderful, but it feels like that's a lot of extra influence to have to earn. 1680. So we have 7 turns left because the Empire plan actually fires on turn 81, right? It doesn't... okay, let's plan for 6 turns, just to be on the safe side. It was definitely firing at n times 20 plus 1 last game. During our Auriga map game, but whatever. We'll play at the safe side here. So 78 times 6 is 480-ish. It's in the neighborhood of 480, which is not enough. Not enough to get us where we're going. We need to be at 1680. So we need to gain a pretty significant amount then, right? We're looking to gain roughly 1,000 influence between then and now. So I guess let's see, where can we bounce people over to influence? That's gonna make sense. Oof, we don't really have any influence improvements either. Urcan does, right? Doesn't Lulani Rawi? No, that's right, we didn't pick up the one hero we were looking at who does influence in exchange for going for this other thing. You know what? Throw that in the queue. I think we're going to want that. We're going to need the ability to build more influence. And for right now, I do think it's going to end up being worthwhile to just devote what we gotta devote, make this happen. I guess this is a way of dealing with the fact that we don't have a ton of things to build right now in some of our cities. Just devote everybody to influence. We're having some food problems here still. I kind of want... Yeah, this is a problem. There's a lot of places where I really don't want to redirect people. No, that has a starving. Pretty important we don't starve. Alright, you know what? Just fine. Just stay on fine. Stay on food. Juliarn should probably get seed storage built and stuff. But we can do this for right now. Yeah, for 12 turns. This city could afford to... Yeah, that's fine. We're going to slow down some of our science gain. How much does this change? Okay, well, it doesn't even change the number of turns to the next the next research, so that's not so bad. I really want Jethat to finish this. So what? I mean, 195 is sufficient, right? 195 6 times gets us well past 1680. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna leave it like this. This leaves Uarden still industry focused. Uarden will be a very powerful tool in our weapon, in our potential war against Pink. We can build a lot of important stuff here very quickly. Could we have gotten to the 2980? I don't... It was 2980, right, for the extra movement? I don't think so. I think that probably was not even on the table. Alright, just fly over the road. Everybody knows roads make flying easier. There's 3 pearls back that way. Yeah, we'll double back for those. That's fine. Okay, so what do we want to build in the capital now? Probably good idea to get the Quicksilver extractor up, I suppose. At the very least, we can sell Quicksilver, right? And this game, there is no pesky roving clan to ban us from the market. Alright, that's a lot of red ships. So red could attack us here, and they'd bring us down pretty easily. I'm going to actually get back on land for a second. This army should get in the water over here. That'll be safer. Alright, we're still waiting on that, which unfortunately is going to constrain some of these armies. Once again, let's zoom out and get clarity on the situation here. So, turbulent water lets you move your armies through it a little bit faster. Unfortunately, we just have a small fraction of a movement point left on account of the winter. We know there's a landmass over here because there was an Urcan on it at some point, so I guess we'll just go for that. You're right where you need to be. I don't have any idea what I want to do with you. You're going to get in the ocean over here. This army of Battleborn was also headed in that direction. Should I close my borders to some people? Maybe I should tell Green and Red that it's not cool for them to be over here. I know this is going to sound strange coming from the Necrophage, but I don't really want to be stirring up unnecessary hostility. Like, you don't want it to be the case that people hate you so much that when you declare war on someone, everyone else jumps to their defense. So, yeah, I'm not really sure what the right move is. They're probably not hurting anything by being over here. Red could convert our villages, which would be annoying. And letting them convert villages is definitely making them stronger. They're not my victory concern though, right? We are worried about one specific player, and it's not Red. Red's not even in second place on that list, so I think probably we can just ignore them. So yeah, for the moment, I guess we're good. Just keep on keeping on. Burn down that stupid. I didn't realize I wouldn't be allowed to stand on the. Oh, this army decided to stand on it anyway, even though they're not allowed to. Huh. So we can engage then. Interesting. Well, if we're gonna do that, obviously. Move the proliferator forward. Yeah, let's do it. Let's tame an Urcan. You know, the old-fashioned way. Alright, you finished your thing here, and yep, I guess it's time to start building plow factories. Very, very slowly building plow factories. Okay. We are not predicted as winners here. Game feels like probably this is not going to go our way. I feel like it's a little harsh. Not that I think we're definitely, like, guaranteed an easy victory here, but I think just raw numbers probably going to get us where we're going. I might want to have... So these are still very high... Yeah, very, very high damage units. Obviously, I want to have units on this side pushing forward. I guess we don't need to reinforce this area too much, because both the reinforcement flags are on this side. Yeah, this should be fine. Alright, so you do that. You, for this turn, maybe don't go anywhere? Well, alright. This Battleborn will go here. It doesn't matter what this one does. This Battleborn will be responsible for keeping the proliferator safe. And I think I'm gonna spit on this one first. Right, because this one's gonna run forward. I think I might have you hold your position and you run to here. And my reasoning there is that I don't want a unit here where they're collapsing in on me. I want them to have a unit in a place where I can get I want multiple people on this. Louse. I want to get us down to just the lot of us versus the Urcan as quickly as possible. I'm trying to optimize fire time on the lice. So he'll run forward, he'll attack, and then... Yep, that's pretty much what I thought was going to happen there. Oh, except that our Battleborn survived. That is not one of my predictions. Okay, so you'll get your attack off after the proliferator proliferates. I am very surprised about this run backwards thing. Not a strategy that I saw coming. Huh. So... Yeah, that's weird. Why would you do that? I might go so far as to say that that was, like, objectively wrong. Well, I mean, what it does is it puts the Urcan in front, right? And that does complicate my maneuvers. So you attack the Urcan, and then we just try to get in here and trade off for these guys as much as possible. I'm again creating one of those situations where we're potentially getting... we're letting them have a better fire surface than we have. But I also don't really have a choice. So you definitely need to move to there. So let me have 2 units stay on this side, because we really, really, really don't want lice getting to the proliferator. And yeah, I guess you can attack here. He doesn't have free counter, so... Trying to keep some units in front of the proliferator as best we can. Alright, you're gonna get... Oh! No, it wasn't so bad. Okay, so you're not parasited yet. Right? That's... Yeah, that's disease. Because we killed the one fleece. The disease is arcing through their numbers pretty quickly here. Alright, you try to take that out. That may result in the loss of our hero, potentially. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Just not punch a guy? That ain't the necrophage way. And hopefully we should open up this side pretty quickly and be able to stream through it. Yes, good news. That did leave the proliferator unable to attack, which is a shame. Okay. So... I mean, we're not going to be able to get a parasite off, right? Yeah, that's a shame. Alright, well, you can just go to here and shoot that guy. A lot of our units are not going to move particularly effectively here. See, why did this unit move from a position where it could attack to a position where it couldn't attack? This is why we have to give very specific orders a lot of the time. But yeah, at this point, no decisions are left to make. Just mash numbers together. Oh, right. The decision of which angle do we attack from first is a thing that totally matters. Never mind what I just said. There are always decisions left to make. Alright, who over here is acting first? Okay, you step there and attack like that. Okay. There we go. Get that sweep strike back only hitting one unit. Okay. 2 Urkans. And we actually only lost 1 unit. And we got a stockpile out of it. Okay, Khazar, what's your deal? You could learn plus huge bonus on Urkans and Lice. This is great. Like, we have this 1 die deposit. We will never, ever have enough die to run a booster, but we have all these things that we can do with small amounts of die. It's actually really wonderful how this has worked out. While the Urcan is in army form, allied units in the same region get defense and big life regen. Pretty cool. While Urcan is rooted to a region, own and allied cities in neighboring regions get plus 30% food. Interesting. And then there's shared ability here. Urkans spawn lice faster. And it's made of Titan bones, which is a thing we could totally get a hold of quite a few of. Alright, neat. And for the moment, I guess I'll just leave you there. Can we purchase dye? Is there dye on the market? I know we have the dye extractor up, but it's gonna... no, there is not. Alright, well, we're bringing it in two at a time here. We'll just buy the relevant abilities as they become available. Obviously, Chaka's thing is most relevant. And Chaka has the remigrate ability, so let's just remigrate you. I don't know that it matters particularly where in the region. Yeah, I guess just here. You're kind of close to the cities. In case we needed to do some kind of defense. A bunch of seaweed. Now, the seaweed is perfectly visible at the normal zoom level. Just slows you down. Ooh, sea ruins. Kind of a pain in the butt to get to, but yeah, fine, sea ruins. In order to get sunken ruins, you have to stop on them and dive for them, which consumes the rest of the army's turn. It's not quite as easy as getting land ruins, but they usually have better stuff in them. I mean, also sometimes, terrible things, much like a land ruin. Sometimes you are really sad that you searched. And then I guess everybody's going to the ocean? I mean, there's all this uncontrolled territory over here. I'm assuming that this landmass to our west is red and nobody else. I wonder if the other players are even aware of it. An expansion victory might totally be possible. That might be a thing that we can do. Do I want to attack these lice? They don't have great stats. And I certainly want to be rid of them. But I don't know that I think the Necrodrone plus the militia without hero support is even going to be able to do the thing. Aw, I was expecting to be able to fly down and get into the ocean. Even though there's a cliff there, just because I am a flying unit. Oh, right. Ursus. Do I want to snap Feeds on Bones over here? Well, he's not really going to be able to help very much anyway, because he went down in that last battle. But yeah, this is totally a thing that we need to do, isn't it? And we already have Ursus assimilated. So we would just be, in this region, we would just be adding 3 Ursus villages, which is plus 15% building discount. So actually, yeah, we should extremely do this. We'll just be very careful with our Necrodrone. Oh, apparently there is an Urkan louse, or a unit of Urkan lice in the region somehow? Or in the village? Okay. That's weird. Man, militia are fast. That's really nice, actually. So you have 62 damage. Alright, I'm gonna try to use the militia to lock up these dudes. And then we'll have the Necrodrone just one-on-one versus this thing. Okay, first round of that went pretty well. Yeah, I guess keep at it. You stand here, and you attack there. Okay, yeah, I'm not too worried about that. And then I think we just withdraw. Okay, battle over. Hold position, please. Hooray, cadavers for the pile. Do we wanna stockpile here? Yeah, I think this city's actually going to be pretty important and valuable. It's probably worth putting some effort into building it up right now. And to that end, do we want to rush out some buildings? Honestly, it will probably help the city more to get a reasonable governor for it. So let's save up for, it looks like only one more turn probably. And then we'll be able to put a real governing force here. You're out of movement, you're out of movement. Who else has movement? You lot were headed... Yes, actually. Your task has become so much more important now. Like, we have some blood that needs shedding over here. It's a shame you're so damn slow at it. Alright, you... ward me... Okay. So, they have a guardian of their own over here. A Geos. Great big mountain guardian. They have some Harmonite units with... honestly, pretty impressive stats. And that's just a unit running around in the open with no hero buffs. They have high-level Marines with extremely high attack and defense and damage. And honestly, even very high life for an archer. They have Hyperium Extractors running. So yeah, blue is definitely the victory threat. Blue is currently winning this game. And they're doing it in a way that makes me a little leery of whether or not we can even attack them. Like, I don't know if that's going to work. Yeah, because that army of theirs is mighty impressive. So we might want to win around them. Again, I think that there's a lot to be said for an expansion victory here. Make it so they have to come to us. Alright, so you're going to cross the ocean. You have some units that have some orders. You are looking for pearls. So we're at 77 right now. We definitely have enough pearls to do some more good pearl building. I don't know exactly what it is we're going to do with all of it. Are you? Must you? Must you, though? So the hero's running for... man. All of these fungal blooms are in such annoying positions. You know what? Burn it. I can't use Khazar to... No, okay. Khazar is not a city and cannot burn all fungal blooms in his area. Burn it. Just get rid of all of them. I'm tired of them. Salali could burn all fungal blooms in its area, but at this point, army time is way less valuable than city time. Alright, let's dive for treasure. What did we get? We got, okay, 15 titanium. Not doing a great job of demonstrating that thing I was saying earlier about how sea ruin loot is often very good. Okay, that time we found a technology. That's pretty cool. So that pushed us over into the next era in the middle of a turn. That's a better example. Sometimes there's just technology in them. So, we have located a huge number of sources of mithrite and 2 hyperium, both of them in Rouster. Interesting. Adjacent to each other, in fact. Weird. That's weird. That's a weird way for those to be distributed. Okay, we've got mithrite underneath Urcan. That's cool. Yeah, these volcanic regions did not turn out to be as good as I was hoping. As far as luxuries go, lots and lots and lots of Red Sang. We can actually run Red Sang boosters. Red Sang is fine. A single Dust Orchid. Ah, well. So in case you don't remember from last game, Red Sang is doubled XP on heroes, which is cool. And of course, any luxury you run is going to give you some approval, which is a thing we are in desperate need of. We're going to have to wait one more turn before having access to all of the heroes. Some of them are available now. So let's have a look at... You're definitely an army hero. You know, a hero with the slavery capacity would be effective in that city. There are three minor faction villages. And at this point, we're engaged in such a like profound level of evil that slavery is just like, it's another thing on the list. You can only get so wet, right? It doesn't really look like any of these other heroes are as interesting. Food Boost 3 is certainly something. Dust Boost 2. Yeah, I think we might just grab another Feeds on Bones. The city needs food. It's better than industry efficiency. Yeah. I think that's the move. So we can just go ahead and get that going right now. Although it's not going to be very effective right now. It'll get effective as we continue to build. So it increases the per citizen working on this value for both food and industry for each pacified and rebuilt village. So we're going to have to do a little bit of village rebuilding, is all. And that's very high priority anyway. I think, honestly, the best thing we could possibly spend money on at this point is these. Because it'll improve the value of this village tremendously. And it'll give the whole empire a reduction on the building costs. So that is where all of our dust is going for the foreseeable. I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep doing wards on the peaks here, and we're just going to keep looking into other people's empires. It's actually it's a neat ability. Like I said, I've not used Photios very much, so I didn't even realize that this was a thing that could be done. Alright, what if food, and then also food? Right? And then here in Veltaire, I would probably prefer to build science first. No, probably not. I mean, we do need it. I don't know. We'll see. Let's definitely build the cheap food building first, and then we'll figure things out after that. Cheap food buildings, hooray! All right, so we're over the hour already. I'm playing real slow today. Let's do one more here. Oh, thank God, the end of winter. Always happy to see it. God, we get so many notifications. A guardian is roaming in Hyloman. Defeat it and gain its secrets. I don't care about its secrets. Also, oh, that's true. I totally forgot about this, but like 80 influence, who cares? How are we doing on that quest? 2 turns? Okay. So we finished our cargo dock, and at this point, I think the most important thing we can do is level up the cargo dock. I mean, food. Food is an important thing we can do. We may not be able to even build enough districts to level up the cargo dock if we don't get the food going, because obviously we're going to need the population level to build 3 more districts. You are just looking around for pearls. do need to deal with this other village. So, okay, we have what might be a little island here off our coast. I'm saying, let's make sure we're buying those out. That is 6 pearls, but also, so when you're zoomed out like this, you can see there's a number of small dots at the top right of the pearl indicator that gives you an indication of the size category. I think 6 pearls is the smallest number that it can be and still have 3 dots. I was excited about that. It turned out to be somewhat disappointing. Now you can run through here. We should probably do something about that as well. God, all these other players just trying to benefit from all of the hard work I've been doing over here. Is this... Yes, that is burned. Hooray! Alright, so they're going to grab this ruins. There's no reason for you to come down here for this ruin. Let's just get to the coast. Okay, even more sea ruins. Hooray! We don't have any idea how much sea travel has been done here, how much sea work has been done. It may be the case that these have never been searched by anybody. So you can see this one has sort of a glowy raised effect to it, while that one is flatter. I think that does mean that this is a ruin that has been searched by at least one player, while this is one that has never been searched, I think. Okay, we finished our cargo docks here as well, and here we are a little closer to maxing out. Oh, I've run out of glass steel. No more plow factories for me. Here we are a little closer to actually leveling this up because it's in the line of our city. So yeah, we'll build that. That'll level up this district. Then we build here, and it levels up this district. And yeah, that's gonna be pretty solid. Oh, speaking of the Altar of Auriga. Fair point, video game. Ooh, wow, that's the current. I don't like it. I like this. I want this one to happen. Lower the cost of major faction unit production, raise the cost of minor faction unit production. Our best units are our major faction units. So we're going to dump a bunch of prayers on this, like a whole lot. I'm going to push it to 9. That leaves us with 60 pearls to do with as we please. We do have access now to the outer ring of the pearl thing, which has these really, really powerful additional districts on it. And I would like to have some stuff left over for those. Plus, we know there's at least one place where we definitely want to build a chapel. Let's leave it at 9. We'll check in on it again in a turn or two. And if the AI are pushing one of the other options, we will push this one up pretty aggressively. Can we rush to get the seed storage done? Yeah, that'll be good enough. That'll help level things out significantly. So this, I'm assuming this can't be bought out. Oh no, this totally can be bought out. Well, whatever. I'm not too stressed about it. Ooh, 4 dots. That is 11 pearls. Okay. Well, we're working on it. We'll get it. We have this one army of Battleborn internal to our empire that I think are going to be the ones who do all of the demon hunting. But obviously, first they're going to do this thing. Alright. 70 minutes into the episode, and I'm sitting here thinking, you know what, though? If we let this finish, that would provide a good spot to break and move on. But once we do that, then I'm going to be thinking, well, I should also let the Empire plan commit. And this is the draw. This is the curse of these games. I am, in fact, going to just call it here. That's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, tomorrow, we're going to finish so many food buildings. And then we're going to have to figure out some kind of way of dealing with blue, because I am afraid that, left to their own devices, they are totally just going to outrun us toward a victory condition. And we'll see you then.